best places on Earth to live. Whether you're looking to move or you need a vacation and want to make the most out of it, it's helpful to know where the best places in the world are, what cities offer the highest quality of life possible. Keep watching to find out. Number 18. Tokyo, Japan. Want to know what the future looks like? Book a flight to Japan's capital to find out.
Last year, Tokyo was ranked as the most popular metropolitan area in the world, with a population of 127.1 million people.
Compare that to Los Angeles, which has 3.9 million residents. Things you should expect from living in Japan include the best medical service, a superiorly ranked education system, and a lot of modern technology. Seriously, the streets are lined with futuristic vending machines that can prepare whole meals. Additionally, there are better job opportunities here. Japan, in general, has a meager crime rate, so you can be sure you'll be safe walking on the street or taking public transportation, which is said to be some of the most efficient in the world. Number 17. Adelaide, Australia. It is the capital city of the state of South Australia and has a population of 1.3 million people, making it the country's 5th most populous city. Adelaide may not be the biggest town in the world, but it's on its way. One of the best things about living in Adelaide is that you receive the perks of a big city and all of its resources, as well as being close to the sunny beach. All beaches are around a 20 to 30-minute drive. For a metropolitan area so close to the sea, Adelaide is a very affordable place to live. If you're young and surviving on a student budget, you could fare very well visiting and living in Adelaide. Number 16. Copenhagen, Denmark. Whatever's rotten in the state of Denmark, it's not Copenhagen. Copenhagen serves as a home to nearly 800,000 residents, and it has come far for a place that started as a little Viking fishing village in the 10th century. The nation's capital is also its most populous city. There are many job opportunities at hand, so you don't have to worry about running out of money. Even if you need to be on welfare, their system is said to be one of the best in the world and the most helpful. Copenhagen offers free education, free healthcare, and a limit of working 37.5 hours per week. That maximum means you have more time to live outside of your job. Number 15. Toronto. Living in Toronto can be expensive, most notably the closer you live to downtown. Spending a lot of money every day to eat and pay rent doesn't sound so great, but in Toronto, you get your money's worth.
The economic opportunity here is enormous if you're looking for a career in tech, culture, media, or the arts.
There's a job for everyone. No matter who you are, it will feel effortless calling Toronto home, as it is one of the most multicultural cities on Earth. Even though you should still be on alert for pickpockets, for a big city, Toronto boasts a low crime rate. Number 14. Sydney, Australia. The Outback seems like a pleasant place to settle down, doesn't it? First, we talked about Adelaide. Now, we move on to its most famous city, Nemo's destination, Sydney. You'll find the capital of New South Wales on Australia's east coast. This place has a population of 5.2 million, 65% of the state's population. People that reside in Sydney are called Sydneysiders. What's so great about becoming one? Aside from the fact that there are 5 close-by beaches, Sydney also has a major airport, temperate weather, and endless festivals to attend for every season. The biggest downside to moving to Sydney would be the cost of living for families. The Economist Intelligence Unit counts Sydney amongst the top 20 most expensive cities in the world. Number 13. Geneva, Switzerland. Many of the residents that live in Geneva are from somewhere else. This Swiss city is beloved amongst expatriates, and for a good reason. Geneva is worth saving up all your money to live a good quality of life. Mercer's quality of living ranking puts Geneva in 8th place. Its inhabitants have the privilege of having a balance of time for work and personal life. Geneva is in the French-speaking part of Switzerland, so anyone moving from a French-speaking country will have an easy transition with the language. Number 12. Auckland, New Zealand. New Zealand is a relatively small country, only measuring to an area of 103,483 square miles, or 268,019 square kilometers. Its capital, Auckland, serves as a steady source of revenue for New Zealand. There are many attractions for tourists to enjoy in Auckland, such as the Sky Tower, the tallest freestanding structure in the Southern Hemisphere. What is daily life like here? If you love extreme weather, then Auckland's just for you. You can experience a temperate climate all year. Auckland is also very clean, so you don't have to worry about litter. Healthcare in New Zealand is either free or low cost for its citizens, and emergency treatment is pro bono. Number 11. Calgary, Canada. Canada has a lot to thank Calgary for. This place, Calgary, is the epicenter of their economy. The city excels in aspects such as energy, creative arts like film, manufacturing, technology, finance, and transportation. The Toronto Board of Trade placed Calgary as the 3rd most prosperous city. You can find Calgary in Canada's province of Alberta. Over 1.2 million people call Calgary home, making the 4th most populous city in the Great White North. Number 10. Brussels, Belgium.
The city of Brussels is the most densely populated and wealthiest place in Belgium.
It's a small region too, only covering 62 square miles or 161 square kilometers. Brussels started as a small settlement next to the River Seine around 580. It rose to greater prominence at the end of World War II after it became a center for international politics. Life in Brussels comes with its cons. For one, property here is expensive, and residents pay very high taxes. However, because Brussels is so small, if you work here, chances are you live really close to your job. They speak 3 main languages: Dutch, French, and English. If you know at least one of those, you won't be inconvenienced. Number 9. Frankfurt, Germany. The European Central Bank can be found in Frankfurt, Germany, so it's no surprise that this city is a major financial hub. This commerce-centric city is the largest establishment in the German federal state of Hesse. Residing in a place like Frankfurt allows one to experience some of the most diverse places in Europe. Walking down the streets, you will hear not only German and English, but Spanish, Turkish, and Hindi as well. About 30% of Frankfurt residents have foreign citizenship. The rent may be high, but you have the chance to live in the center of Europe. Because of its location, you can reach all the major German cities in 4 to 6 hours. Number 8. Vancouver, Canada. Canada is looking like the perfect place to pack your bags and permanently settle down at this point. First Toronto, then Calgary, now Vancouver? Vancouver is located on Canada's west coast, not too far from Seattle, Washington in the USA. If you are both a cosmopolitan soul and an outdoors enthusiast, then Vancouver is the ideal home for you. The skyline is full of tall buildings, and the streets are full of exciting activities from museums and shopping to good food and lots of dining choices. Nearby are the Rockies and the Pacific Ocean. Vancouver's Stanley Park stretches for 1,000 acres and sits right in the downtown area. Number 7. Luxembourg City, Luxembourg. France, Belgium, and Germany surround the tiny nation of Luxembourg. Only 590,667 people reside in Luxembourg. Over 1/5 of that population lives in the capital, Luxembourg City. Living in the city means you are close to other destinations like Paris, France, and Cologne, Germany. It is one of the de facto capitals of the EU and is the seat of the EU, the European Court of Justice, the Secretariat of the European Parliament, the European Investment Bank, and more. Most of Luxembourg's inhabitants work at a big bank. If you got laid off from your job, then the state benefit system still offers you 86% of your salary for a year. Number 6. San Francisco, USA. The United States of America is a vast country with a lot of places to live. How can you choose? San Francisco is the best you'll find. The city and county of San Francisco is the commercial, financial, and cultural center of Northern California. Most people recognize it best for the Golden Gate Bridge. But what other great things does San Francisco have to offer? Since 2017, it has been the 7th highest income county in America, with a per capita personal income of $119,868. No wonder it's so expensive to live here. Aside from all the tourist destinations like the Rolling Hills, Fisherman's Wharf, Chinatown, and Alcatraz, you can make good money if you want to work in companies like Airbnb, Twitter, Uber, Craigslist, and more. Many companies establish their corporate buildings in this Bay Area jewel. Number 5. Zurich, Switzerland. If Geneva isn't your cup of tea, then maybe you should try its fellow Swiss town, Zurich, on precise. When Monocle released their Quality of Life survey in 2012, Zurich made it to number 1 on the list. Many people that transfer to Zurich do so with direction from their company. A lot of those companies give their employees high salaries. In short, people here are rich. They love to shop for luxury brands and don't mind paying expensive mortgages for their houses. However, Zurich is also somewhat conservative. Sundays, shops are closed, so do all your errands and retail therapy during the rest of the week. That may be deterring for some, but the top quality healthcare and the low crime rate are things to consider as well. Number 4. Melbourne, Australia. Finally, we arrive in Melbourne, located in the Australian state of Victoria. Its most populous city was once known as Batmania, but the name changed to Melbourne, and it's the name that stuck. Melbourne comprises of 31 municipalities. People here are Melburnians. Sports fans rejoice. Melbourne is the sporting capital of the world, and you will never miss any sporting event. There is also an endless amount of parks, museums, and shopping and nightlife to do. Unlike other parts of Australia, Melbourne has the most unpredictable weather. Number 3. Osaka, Japan. Osaka is the second largest metropolitan area in Japan and one of the largest in the world, with more than 19 million inhabitants. If you're a history buff and want to be in a place that blends the modern very well with the past, then look no farther than Osaka.
You can visit the many historic temples in Osaka and learn all about Japan's rich culture.
Osaka will be the 2025 host for the World Expo, and they are working on large-scale urban regeneration projects to ensure its position as a business hub. Back in the 1600s, Osaka was hailed as the nation's kitchen because of all the goods they exported from here. Most foreigners in Japan reside in Osaka, so you know you will have cultural variety at your disposal. Number 2. Singapore. The capital of Singapore is, you guessed it, Singapore. This Southeast Asian nation only has one metropolitan area, though it does have smaller territories reserved for parks, military, suburbs, and industrial sectors. Singapore is overall an expensive place to live. Those searching for the most beautiful mansions look through the affluent neighborhoods of Holland Village and Orchard Road. You will never have trouble getting around because the public transportation here is top-notch and easy to use.
When it comes to the best education, an efficient healthcare system, and the economy, Singapore checks off every box.
Number 1. Vienna, Austria. Here we are, the best place to live on Earth. Vienna sits along the Danube River. It was the home to geniuses like Beethoven, Mozart, and Sigmund Freud. CN Traveler rated Vienna as the most livable city in the world, scoring its stability, healthcare, education, and infrastructure at 100%. As an expatriate, you are not alone. Vienna hosts an active expat community. As you integrate yourself into the Viennese culture, you can find a multitude of things to do. Check out the performing arts scene, eat culturally diverse food, and ride through the city on a bike for a quiet afternoon.
Just be ready for some long winters. Vienna is known for its heavy snow.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, subscribe to our channel and turn on that bell notification so you don't miss an upload.